Also, if you brought your car to the masjid, then please hand over your keys to the brothers at the table. The parking volunteers will move your car to the welder's lot. So if you are here with your car, then kindly please give your keys at the desk, and parking volunteers will move your car. Jazakullahu Khairun.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. So as it was announced, every day after Asr for the first 20 days of Ramadan, we've been going over one dua. And this is a dua from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and we just discuss its meanings every day, and then we take a few minutes to memorize it as well. So actually, today's dua is a part 2 of yesterday's discussion. Yesterday we began memorizing the first part of this dua, where you currently see the pointer, and now today we're finishing and concluding as well with the second part of this dua. So what the dua is, Allahumma ja'al hubbaka ahabba ilayya min nafsi wa mali wa ahli wa min al-ma'il barid. Very beautiful dua. Oh Allah, make your love more beloved to me than myself and my wealth and my family, and even more beloved to me than cold water. Okay, so what this is saying, we can just break it down a little bit. As we discussed briefly yesterday, what does it mean for the love of Allah Ta'ala to be more to us, or for the love of Allah Ta'ala to be more beloved to us than any of these things? Well, what it means is that when both these things are paired in front of us, and then on one end we have the demands of ourselves or something like that, our wealth. On the other hand, we have the demands of what the love of Allah Ta'ala would entail. We give preference to the love of Allah, we give preference to what Allah wants over what anyone else wants, right? So for example, let's say that we're asked to, in Ramadan, most of us give our zakat, or if not that, then we give nafil sadaqah in Ramadan. So on one hand, we have something that we like. We like having our money. But then on the other hand, you have a call to donate, to sponsor poor people, or to sponsor orphans, or people who are hungry, or the supporting of institutions. So then you have something that you love on one hand, which is your wealth. Everyone naturally likes wealth. And on the other hand, you have what Allah Ta'ala loves. So then now, if the love of Allah is more than the love of any of these things, then we would give preference to what Allah Ta'ala wants over what we want. So we give preference to the love of Allah over anything else, right? So we would readily, without hesitation, say that I love Allah Ta'ala more, so I'm going to readily spend my money in the cause of Allah, right? If any of us have children, we know that if the child is sick, then we'd rush the child to a doctor, and then whatever it costs, we'd be ready to pay it. Would we say, well, I don't know if I want to take the child to a doctor, it's going to be very expensive, I can spend that money on I can go on vacation or something? No one would say that, because naturally we have more love for our children than we do for our wealth. So when we love our children, when we love anything more than anything else, then we give that thing preference when both those things are juxtaposed before us. So then what we're asking over here is, oh Allah, please make your love more beloved to me than even myself. So all the dictates of myself, like we want to sleep at night instead of getting out of our bed and praying, but instead of doing that, we're saying, well, Allah loves that we would get up and pray at night and sacrifice our sleep, so we're going to give preference to that. Or our wealth, or our families, or even cold water. And keep in mind that all of us can relate to this. Imagine it's a hot day of the summer and then you're working, or you're playing basketball or something like that, and then there's nothing that would be more quenching to you than a glass of cold water. And then you can multiply this manifold. For the Arabs who are living in the desert, and then water was scarce to begin with. Cold water, they don't have any refrigeration, so water is not always going to be so cold. They don't have any freezers, they don't have any fridges. So imagine a cold glass of water for them. It's sort of like a rare treat. And then they're living in such a hot place. So that would be something, there's nothing that could be better than that. So however much we love that, what we're saying is, oh Allah, however much we would love that cold water, please make your love even more to me than that. So this is a very beautiful dua. And then essentially many of us have come for the i'tikaf. Essentially what the goal of the i'tikaf is that we worship Allah, yes, but the purpose of worshiping Allah is to attain the love of Allah. So this is sort of an ideal dua to start out the i'tikaf with, because we start out the i'tikaf with seeking the love of Allah. We hope that inshallah by the end of the 10 days, by the end of Ramadan for all of us, that we all exit Ramadan with the love of Allah. So we'll take a few minutes to memorize it. Allahumma ja'al hubbaka, Allahumma ja'al hubbaka, Allahumma ja'al hubbaka ahabba ilayya min nafsi. Actually, let's do it together. Ahabba ilayya min nafsi wa mali wa ahli. Again, ahabba ilayya min nafsi wa mali wa ahli. Ahabba ilayya min nafsi wa mali wa ahli. Okay, both parts together now. Allahumma ja'al hubbaka ahabba ilayya min nafsi wa mali wa ahli. Again, Allahumma ja'al hubbaka ahabba ilayya min nafsi wa mali wa ahli. Okay, and last part, وَمِنَ الْمَاءِ الْبَارِدِ. وَمِنَ الْمَاءِ الْبَارِدِ. وَمِنَ الْمَاءِ الْبَارِدِ. Okay, so now we're going to put the second and third part together. أَحَبَّ إِلَيَّ مِن نَفْسِي وَمَالِي وَأَهْلِي وَمِنَ الْمَاءِ الْبَارِدِ. Right, أَحَبَّ إِلَيَّ مِن نَفْسِي وَمَالِي وَأَهْلِي وَمِنَ الْمَاءِ الْبَارِدِ. أحب إلي من نفسي ومالي وأهلي ومن الماء البارد. Okay, now the whole thing together. And before we do that, I'll just briefly mention what we've been talking about over the past now 20 days is that when we look at the du'as of the Prophet ﷺ, we sort of get a glimpse into the connection that the Prophet ﷺ had with Allah Ta'ala. Because when we try to make du'a, a lot of times we make du'a for 1-2 minutes and then we don't really know what more to say. But then it's because when you're speaking to somebody whom you love a lot, somebody whom you're very close to, then the conversation will just flow. You might speak for 2 hours. You won't even know where the time went. But if there's somebody who you're not so maybe acquainted with, then the conversation is a bit awkward. There's some awkward silences. It doesn't naturally flow. Now the Prophet ﷺ had a very, very deep connection with Allah. So when he would make dua, it would just flow. Because he was speaking to somebody whom he loved and somebody who also loved him. So we just see like sort of this beautiful relationship between the Prophet ﷺ and Allah Ta'ala. And by reading these du'as, we get a glimpse into the connection that the Prophet ﷺ had with Allah Ta'ala. So it's very beautiful. It kind of gives us that. And a lot of times when we make dua, we don't really know what to say. So then reading these du'as from the Sunnah kind of gives us an idea. And then if we say the same words that the Prophet ﷺ said, of course keeping the meaning in mind, then inshallah it's all the more powerful. Again, now we'll say the whole thing together. Allahumma ja'al hubbaka ahabba ilayya min nafsi wa mali wa ahli wa min al-ma'i al-barid. Okay, we're going to say this 3 times. Allahumma ja'al hubbaka ahabba ilayya min nafsi wa mali wa ahli wa min al-ma'i al-barid. اللهم اجعل حبك أحب إلي من نفسي ومالي وأهلي ومن الماء البارد. Okay, last time now. اللهم اجعل حبك أحب إلي من نفسي ومالي وأهلي ومن الماء البارد. Okay, so now what we do is that I ask now, it's your turn, I ask the audience to please mention this dua without looking. So without looking at the screen, I need 5 volunteers, 5 people to say it. Okay. Very good, mashallah. Okay, 4 more people? Anyone else? No one? Okay, yeah. Okay, good, mashallah, that's 2. Anyone else? Yeah. Okay, good. We need 2 more people. Okay. Yeah. Allahumma ja'al hubbaka. Very good, mashallah. Last person? Anyone? No one? Okay, I'll say it. I'm the last. Oh, go ahead. Very good, mashallah. So this is the dua. If you don't know it, then all these duas are on the website, masjidyas.org/prophetic prayers. You can check out the presentation over there. There's duas that we did every day, so you can check those out, inshallah. And then if anyone wants to, I'll leave this up on the screen. If anyone wants to take a picture of it with your phones, you can do that as well, and then you can read the dua if you haven't yet memorized it. Once I find it again, inshallah. And then this is an excellent thing to start out the i'tikaf with, because as I mentioned before, really the ultimate goal for all of us in this i'tikaf is to, inshallah, may Allah grant all of us that, to attain the love of Allah. So we ask Allah Ta'ala grant us His love. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem. Yeah, here we go. Okay, Jazakallah.